Hi. Installment 5 of Teaching Teachers How to Teach. That sounds so arrogant. I hope you don't hold it against me. It's too late now to go back and change the name. I think, anyway. Most teachers with credentials have been in a session learning about learning style and left and right brained dominance. So I won't go into detail about that unless you're a homeschooling parent who has never actually had a class in that. Maybe I should address that. People learn differently. They don't all think the way you do. And that's important for all teachers to know, and all parents who are teaching to know. It can be really harmful emotionally between parents and children, in fact, and teachers and students, if that is overlooked. My mother was a math whiz. She could compute quickly and absorb the concepts quickly, and I was her child. I was like her husband, artistically inclined, verbal, not oriented toward manipulating numbers, and at least not at that time. And word problems, this was the scene for me. I remember sitting in the corner of the kitchen with my feet on the hot air vent. She would give me the word problems. I would do the word problems assigned. I would give them to her. She would put a little X next to the ones that I got wrong, and then she would proceed to try to help me fix those. Those sessions would always escalate into screaming and crying episodes. I'd be the crying one. My mother would be the one with the loud voice. And it usually would end up sounding a little bit like this. Now listen to me. If Mary has 2 feet of grosgrain ribbon and it's 4 o'clock on a Saturday, how much ribbon does she need to make a bow on a hat that is 7.5 inches in diameter? Now listen to me. I'm listening. I'm listening. Listen to me. I'm going to repeat it. And, here's what was going on there. My mother thought I wasn't listening. She got increasingly frustrated with me, thinking I wasn't listening, because at her disposal was absolutely no method for getting through to me. Likewise, I wasn't fathoming why it was that what she was saying to me made no sense to me. Furthermore, the more agitated she became and the more upset I became, the less likely I was to even have any hope of comprehending how to solve that word problem. Affective arousal, if it's positive, enhances the mind's ability to absorb new information. Negative arousal slams the door, down comes the scrim, I think it's called, or whatever the sheath is that comes down, the screen that blocks all view. If you are agitated negatively, if you are upset by someone, if you're traumatized, you cannot absorb information. Your students won't be able to if you're yelling at them. Your children won't be able to if you're yelling at them. And the concept you so desperately need them to absorb by the end of the school day will be lost. If your approach toward your children fails to include a varied approach in its presentation. Now, I'm going to just tell you about me as an example of a student who might be problematic. If you tell me something without giving me a visual, if you tell me something without showing me the picture, I will probably not remember most of what you said. And here's the reason why. If I can see your face while you're talking to me, I become fixated on your face. I become fixated on the expressions, the tone of your voice, the clothes you're wearing, what I think you're thinking about. My mind just dissociates. It just goes off in its own little preferred mode of observing you while you're talking. And I don't hear what you're saying. If I'm watching TV, news program, if I look away and just listen to them talking without watching the face, I tend to absorb a whole lot more than if I am watching the face deliver the information. I don't know why that is. Maybe I'm the weirdo. But maybe you have several students like that and just don't know it. Remember what I said about raising your eyebrows to get their attention and keep it and capture it? That's the beginning of what you do. If all you do is talk for the rest of the class, you'll lose them after just a few minutes. You only use the facial bit, use that to get their attention, to captivate with the objects, with the sounds and the bells and the whistles and the activity. But every few minutes you have to change your position, change the focus of your attention to keep their attention. But some children need visuals. They need signs and symbols and props all the time. You know that some children need math manipulatives. They can't get abstract concepts unless they are manipulating blocks and marbles and sets like that. Well, that concept of transmitting information can't be overestimated. Of course, youngest children are most able to learn kinesthetically. They need to be moving. But so do some adults need to be moving. The athletes would rather be moving to learn something than those who are forced to sit in an immobilized position. Getting up on feet and standing and moving while concepts are being offered helps the body internalize them. Dancing while learning an abstract concept. Why do you think Schoolhouse Rock is so successful or so appealing to children? They'll do what they want to do, and they'll be drawn by what captivates them. Have courage. Use these concepts right in your classroom. They work, and you'll be effective. You'll communicate. And when you communicate, your children will learn. I might be back again soon, but I think we'll close this chapter for now. And to those who have been earnestly, availing themselves, if you have been really tuning in and with some level of respect for this, I'm grateful, because I assure you, I mean this with all my heart. And my intentions are to offer for you some tools of the trade. We all know how hard we worked and how hard we're still working for the sake of the future of the next generation. I hope you feel love coming from me, because I'm feeling it for you. Thank you.